I did my very first child dedication before I even went to seminary. It was for my best friend's first child. We had been best friends since we were 5, and she asked me to create a ritual to bless her child and name his divinity in the world. It was the very first ritual I had ever created, and at the time, my best friend and I were in love with the beauty and the magic of the natural world. So we did the ritual in the woods, in the middle of a thicket that the young family hiked every day through the back trails of a farm and down to a small creek. We packed our backpacks with incense and stones, milk and diapers. And we hiked with the baby on our backs for a mile or 2. He was a toddler who loved to run around, but he wasn't old enough to hike for miles through thicket and bramble. We gathered water from the creek, and then on our way back, we set the little one down and we let him run. Eventually, the woods thinned a bit, and he turned around in the middle of a sunlit clearing, and he smiled up at us. My friend said, "Let's do it here." So we all set our backpacks down and made 4 corners in this sun-dappled thicket with the child in the center. Each of us shared a blessing with him, grounded in the natural beauty of the world, while the child danced and giggled in the middle of the circle we had created. He had enough language to understand some of what we were saying, but certainly not all of the words, and he didn't have enough words to talk back to us. But I had never seen his heart so open and clear and delighted. He was fully present in the moment, and he was just running back and forth between his adults, me and his mom and his dad and another auntie. In the middle of the blessing circle that day in the clearing in the woods, this child started to play. And we each engaged in that imaginative play with him and with each other and with the woods, with the world. We were dancing together, blessing back and forth in a play that was beyond human language, but still steeped deep in our bones. We were playing with the woods and the sun and the water and the breeze rustling through the trees. We knew the magic that we were creating, a blessing of love, weaving our lives together with the child and with the woods and with the world of beauty and possibility. Imaginative play builds a bridge. It can build a bridge across difference, across generations. It can also build a bridge across the known and into the unknown. Imaginative play, it can access entire worlds of possibility beyond the concrete. It can open us up to that possibility, to one another and to what could be. Now, I know it can be challenging sometimes to bridge the generations, to understand how to connect with people whose experiences are so different from your own daily lives and history. What do the elders and the toddlers talk about? How do you even start that conversation? Honestly, this is one of the reasons that we periodically create intergenerational activities at church in the common room, so that people of different ages have a shared activity that connects them, and no one has to come up with that conversation all on their own. 2 weeks ago, I saw people of all ages painting their hands and then stamping them as butterflies on our Love Has No Borders banner, collaborating with one another in their artistic visions of beauty and transformation. Do the bug eyes go here? How long should the antenna be? When doing an activity or playing a game, you have roles. You have a shared purpose, a system of connection that you can enact. You don't have to figure out what to talk about. Imaginative play takes that opportunity a step further. You still don't have to figure out how to talk Legos or crosswords, but you can build a new world together. You can co-create, connecting your ideas and your imaginings about the world and what could be. In imaginative play, everyone has the opportunity to bring in a piece of themselves and their mind and their knowing. And you get to witness what the other people bring. It helps sometimes to use what's called the yes and technique from improv theater, when you say yes to whatever the other person is bringing and you add something to it yourself. Imaginative play across generations, yes ands a shared new world into existence. I say, I'm bringing a pink unicorn into our new world. And you say, well, maybe I'm bringing a talking frog. I say, I'm bringing stars that dance with each other at night. And you say, you're bringing dolls that come alive at night. You learn about one another in the co-creation of this imaginative world. That creation, that whether it's unicorns and dragons or houses in the clouds, it also brings very real worlds into existence because the process of creating creates real connections with one another. When we engage in imaginative play together, we create real links between ourselves and our fellow world builders, links that last beyond the individual moment, the particular game, the particular play. The 20th century Jesuit theologian Pierre Teilhard de Chardin said of this collaborative co-creation, something is happening to the whole structure of human consciousness. A fresh kind of life is starting, driven by the forces of love. The fragments of the world, that's us. The fragments of the world are seeking each other so that they may bring new worlds into being. Imaginative play is the practice of this collaborative co-creation. It allows love to drive us forward into connection that weaves and creates new worlds, real worlds, into being. In this way, play can be serious business. Tapping into joyful co-creation with people who are different from us, whether that's generationally or other ways of difference, yes-anding new worlds into creation is how we participate with the divine. It's how we participate with love in co-creating what's becoming with one another. My dear ones, my Unitarians, it doesn't all have to be hard. It doesn't all have to be serious, exhausting work when we create something new. It can be fun. It can be playful. It can look like tossing a ball around and building a field of dreams. It can look like painting your hands and making butterflies for a protest banner. It can look like finding a clearing in the wood and using it to weave love and magic together with your lives. On that day in the woods, my loved ones and I dedicated ourselves to the life of the young child playing in the sun, screaming and giggling, running from one blessing to the next in delight. And 20 years later, That same group of people gathered by my best childhood friend's bedside as she fought cancer. The bridges that we had built 20 years before, they held. And another bridge opened up between the known and the unknown, between this world and the next. That same group of people were woven together in love and held on to one another in the mystery of that moment. That little child in the woods was all grown up, standing there by his mother's bedside. Now he's a student studying art, creating new beauty and delight in the world, and each of the adults from that day is still by his side, loving him into new reality that keeps unfolding at every stage. It's a reality that we keep co-creating with magic and sun and woods and breath and a love that stretches beyond the known into the unknown, creating new dreams and new bridges and new possibilities and new worlds.